Brother Scotty said, peace and blessings to the family. Good to see you, Brother Scott. Miss Wade is in the house. Good to see you, baby. Brother Scott said, okay, bro, new name, new music. Who this? It is 2024, man. You know, that music isn't going to change, but I had a snafu this morning, man. You know, you got to improvise. Believe it or not, Brother Scott, this music was music that we played mid-year to last year, man. We played it every once in a while, but you know, I had to improvise this morning because my track didn't load when I hit my my button there. So Mr. Wade had to improvise, and that's what we did on this one. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you guys in the chat. Welcome to another BH live stream. We're going to elevate to the unknown today. We are going to elevate to the unknown today, guys. It is Saturday or Sunday, the 14th. Man, I keep thinking that it is a Saturday. Oh, it tells you how fast this year is going by, man. It is going by at the speed of light. Lots going on with me. I want to hear what's going with you guys today. We're going to have a good show. The show today is going to be about getting laid off and getting fired. That's what we're going to be talking about today in this live stream. I want you guys to be interactive in this show. Ask a lot of questions. Share some of your personal experiences, because that's going to help others who decide to watch this show at a later time, or help others who are tuning in with us live this morning. Guys, let me give you a quick rundown of my week. I had a busy week this week, guys. I have a lot of stuff going on with the W2 job, lots of deals that I'm focusing on trying to get closed by the end of our fiscal year. We got a weird fiscal year, which ends at the end of February. And big deals that I want to get done, because that's going to put a lot of money in my pocket. Also, we have a lot of work going on with Level Careers, as well as the Black Heights channel. Many of you who want coaching sessions, you'll probably go to our consultation sessions section on our solutions page, and you'll see that our rates went up. Well, it's a reason why our rates went up, because guess what? We provide a lot of value. And with 2024 being upon us, we realized that we need to charge for that value. And what people have been saying in 2024 is that they're getting a lot more than they actually thought they were going to get with this 30-minute conversation. So if you guys need any sort of career coaching, any sort of career mentorship, go ahead and book a session with us on the Black Heights channel, www.blokheights.com. Okay, guys, today is my 12-year anniversary. It is one of those things where I didn't even, say anything to my my intern, Mr. Danny, who's working with me today, and he's in the studio with me today. I didn't even mention it to him, but one of the first things that I said to my wife when I woke up was, baby, we've been together for 12 years. It's been an amazing journey. I am married to the lady that I was supposed to marry. I am married to the best wife that I could ever ask for. I am married to the best mother that I can ever ask for as well. Happy anniversary, Miss Wade. I am looking forward to having a nice brunch with you later on today. I don't know what time we're going to be able to do that, but looking forward to spend some quality time with you today. And thank you so much for all the love that you continue to pour into me, and all the love that you continue to pour into our family. Happy anniversary, Miss Wade. Anniversaries are one of those things in my household where we don't celebrate it really big, because every single day we just pour into each other. Right. So I didn't get up this morning and go get my wife some flowers or anything like that. We just basically said that we're going to spend some time together. And that's what we're going to do after the show today. We're going to go and figure out where we're going to have brunch at and take the kids. Then I got to come back home and get some work done. I have been extremely busy since the beginning of the year, because of the fact that I'm just head down trying to make sure that I accomplish all the things that I want to accomplish in the first 3 months of this year. That is launching new ventures, that is launching new coaching sessions, that's launching new programs, coaching, and all that other stuff that we have going on. Yesterday, guys, was my first game that I'm coaching for a new basketball league with my son. I think many of you guys already know that I coach youth basketball, and I was coaching youth basketball for I-9. Well, my son started youth basketball last year in January, and it was with a organization called Dash Rut here in New Braunfels. Well, his team did not have a coach when the roster came out. So, of course, he says, "Dad, can you coach my team?" And I said, yes. Being a father that I am, being a husband that I am, I didn't feel like I had the time to be able to do it, but I said, yes, I would find the time to coach you and your team. And yesterday was our first game. And yesterday we won our first game. So it's been a amazing journey. But as I mentioned, guys, it's been very, very, very busy. So just wanted to share that with you guys. There's football that's going on today. We have another round of wild card football that's going on today. What are you guys gonna do? You're gonna check out some of the football games. I'm going to try to watch the Packers and the Dallas Cowboy game. That's what I'm going to try to do today. I want to see that game. That's the game that represents, anything to me because of the fact that, my wife is from Wisconsin and the family's from Wisconsin and she's a Green Bay Packer fan. So I'm going to try to support the Packers by watching the game today. Hopefully they go in and take out those Dallas Cowboys. I know there's a lot of you folks who are in this chat today who are Dallas Cowboys fans, and the Green Bay Packers are looking to take you down, guys, looking to take you down. Before we get started on the show today, I want to shout out some people who are in the chat. Brother Scott, Operation Tech Takeover, good to see you, my man. Brother Damien, good to see you. Good to see you in the house today. Brother Ant Johnson in the house today. Good to see you as well, too. Tech Job with Tina is in the house. Good to see you. Mr. Governor is in the house. Mrs. Wade, of course, is in the house. Brother Damon, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You're donating right away, man. You're basically contributing to this coffee fund over here. Went to Coffee on the Knox today and got myself a nice little vanilla latte. The nice lattes that you like, Brother Damien. And we're going to have to get together pretty soon. And we're looking forward to it. We haven't caught up in almost a month now. So we got to get together, get the family together pretty soon. Hey guys, let's jump into the topic today. Okay? Getting fired, getting laid off. Many of us have been there. I've gotten fired before in my life. Okay? My first job that I ever had, I got fired. I was a dishwasher at a restaurant in Orangeburg, South Carolina called Biddy Banquet. I got hired when I was 13 years old. I shouldn't have been working because of the laws, but they decided to hire me to be a dishwasher. I got recommended this job from another middle schooler at that time that was a little bit older than me. And he said, "Hey, Antoine, if you want to be a dishwasher, why don't you come over to Biddy Banquet? They'll pay you every single Friday. They give you a nice little envelope with your cash in it, right?" I don't know how much we're getting paid at that time, but I reckon it was about $3 an hour. So anyway, I started working at Biddy Banquet. Liked the job. And was probably one of the best dishwashers they ever had, because that's what Mr. Wade does. He pours into what he does and tries to make sure that it's the best that he does. And, they had me cleaning as well, too, mopping floors at the end of the night. And at the end of the night, me being a 13-year-old boy, I had to close down the kitchen and close down the restaurant. So I was probably one of the last people to leave with the owner. Okay. And after probably about a month or two of, basically closing down this place and my mom picking me up and me just leaving with my mom, the owner, Mr. Clark, decided that he wanted me to walk the premises at night by himself. And I had no reason to question why he wanted me to walk the premises. I'm thinking that, I need to go and dump the trash or just, see if there's any raccoons and stuff like that are out there. I'm naive is all, you know what, at this point in time. So, I walked the premises. Next, mom would pick me up and so forth. Walk the premises, couple weeks or whatever it is. And then, the individual who recommended to this job, started asking me how it was. And I told him how it was. And I told him that there was a bit of a change at the end of the night where I had to walk the premises. And he was like, "Oh, you know why you're walking the premises for, right?" He was like, "Because Mr. Clark was robbed. So he's, putting you in a position to, stop him from getting robbed by walking the premises at night." Ever since I found that out, I felt like that my life was at risk, because if I'm a 13-year-old boy, I don't have a knife, I don't have any guns, I don't know anything about anybody robbing anybody. Why would I be the one that's walking the premises? Let's just say they wanted to rob. the store and they would get me. And next thing you know, I'm the one that's getting robbed for whatever little bit of cash that I have on me, which probably was a little bit of sense. So I decided not to come in the next day. I decided not to come in the next day. And Mr. Clark calls me and said, Mr. Wade, you're fired. Okay, all right, I'm fired. But I had already quit at that point in time. So that's the time that I've been fired. Many of us have been fired before. Okay, which brings me to the meat of the story today, guys. Which brings me to the meat of the story. There are a lot of layoffs that are going on right now within the corporate world. NBC just laid off dozens in their workforce. Okay, you have Universal Music Group, who's laid off hundreds. You have Citigroup, who's laid off or going to eliminate 20,000 jobs to cut costs by $2.5 billion. You have Disney Pixar, who's cutting staff by 20%. You have Discord, the Discord that we use in the Black Heights channel, right? A great app, very similar to Slack. They are eliminating 17,000 employees to sharpen their focus. Amazon even said they will lay off hundreds of Prime Video and MGM studio workers. BlackRock, right? The major investment company, asset management company, they will lay off 3% of their global workforce. The NFL has ordered to buy out around 200 of its 100 or 1,100 person staff. Rent-A-Way will cut 10% of the jobs. Unity Software will lay off 1,800 people, right? You have Newell Brands, a Sharpie and Rubbermaid producer. They're going to cut 7% of their office roles. Video Amp will lay off 20%. Xerox will lay off 15%. There are a lot of layoffs that are happening at this point in time and a lot of firings that are happening at this point in time. Okay? That's what I want you guys to recognize. There's a lot. Now what? Now that you've been fired, you've been laid off. Now what? Now what? I think the first thing that you need to do when you get been fired or laid off, and many of you guys have sought me out for this during a coaching session for Black Heights, is you want to acknowledge that this is going to take a toll on you. It's going to be in a major emotional impact. You're going to feel like you've been rejected. You're going to have a lot of feelings that you have to deal with at this point in time, right? Because many of us are high performers, especially the individuals who are part of the Black Heights ladder climbers. We're high performing individuals, right? We're elevating to the unknown. We are always looking to take the next step within our career. We're ladder climbers. And when we are part of a shift in our company's a strategy, and we've been reduced, or our roles have been reduced, that's a huge emotional impact. That takes an emotional impact, right? We feel like we've been rejected. We feel like other people have gotten jobs over us. We feel like potentially that there's racial biases that are brought into this. We feel like that our performance should speak for itself, but yet it doesn't. So you have to acknowledge that emotional impact that goes on. And what I would suggest is you take a day or two or three to really sit back and understand that this isn't your fault. Okay. This is a change into the company strategy. Okay. This is a change into the company strategy, and you happen to be a part of that. This could be for the good. This could be for the bad, but you have to move on. Okay. So I want for you guys who this potentially may happen to, you have to sit back and understand what is being said. And I would advise you on this. If they try to come with you with a severance package, ask for at least a couple weeks, not even a couple weeks, because they're not going to give you a couple weeks. Ask for at least a week to review that severance package before you sign it. Many of companies are going to want for you to sign that severance package right away. Don't sign it. You want to be able to read what they are potentially giving you, the offer that's in front of you. You want to think about it without the emotional attachments that you have at this point in time. And then you want to make your next steps. Okay. You want to take your next steps after that. I want to show you guys something that I came across on Twitter. And this is about an individual who was just recently laid off. And she recorded it. And I want to walk you guys through this. Okay.
Hey, Brittany.
Hi.
Yes, I'm so sorry. My name's Rosie. I'm just joining the call. Nice to meet you. I'm on the HR team.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi.
Thanks for meeting with me and Rosie. We have an important meeting today. We finished our evaluations of 2023 performance. This is where you have not met Cloudflare expectations for performance. We've decided to part ways with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Sure.
So I started August 25th. I've been on a 3-month ramp, and then it was 3 weeks of December, and then a week of Christmas, and then here we are. I have had the highest activity amongst my team. Since I've started, I have had 3 contracts out, done a really great job managing my deals up until the very end that decided not to close last minute. So I don't think that makes a lot of sense for me in my Cloudflare journey here so far. Also, every single one-on-one I've had with my manager, every conversation I've had with him, he has been giving me nothing but I am doing a great job.
One second, guys. 1 second. I hit the wrong button. I'm going to continue this because this is important. This is very, very important. Let me get back to the screen real quick. Yeah, your boy had the trigger fingers and it was getting good. Give me 1 second. Let me do a quick refresh on this and to see how I can get this back on the screen. But give me 1 second, guys. We're going to reload this page and get us back to where we need to get to on this one. But I'm going to jump over to the comments real quick because I think this is important. Ann Johnson says, my Browns lost yesterday. Operation Tech Takeover says, once the stream is over, I'm going back to studying. Damien says, how about them Cowboys? Absolutely. How about the Cowboys? Ann Johnson also says, I was fired from my first tech job, September 2002, February 2023. Now I'm fully remote and a higher paid tech job. So you know what? That's right. Operation Tech Takeover says, bro, big bro, Mr. Wade says he quiet quit on he quiet quit on Mr. Clark. It's kind of true. It is kind of true. It's before quiet quitting became a thing. I did quiet quit on Mr.
I am doing a great job. I have had great activity. I have really great meetings. I'm picking up the products very quickly, and things have been going really, really well. I make really great relationships with my clients. So I disagree that my performance hasn't been, I haven't met performance expectations when I certainly have, just because I haven't closed anything officially.
I hear you.
Also, why are you doing this and not my manager? We've never met, so this seems a little odd that my manager has no idea that this has been happening and the director has no idea that this has been happening. So I'm just definitely confused, and I would love an explanation that makes sense.
100%. Real quick, let me carve out the 2 threads. The latter of why I'm on this conversation, I'll put that one to the second half, and Rosie might be better to explain the process of who is giving this information in the prior piece, which is your feedback and notes about your performance. So let me add a little color context to that. So just for clarification, you are not being singled out in this. Your peers are also being collectively assessed on performance. This is a collective calibration for Cloudflare. So I just want to clarify that piece. I won't be able to add any kind of specifics on numbers or...
Wait, yeah, no, can you explain for me why Brittany Peach is getting let go?
Brittany's pushing back, guys. Brittany is pushing back. Brittany says, you know what? You're telling me that I'm getting let go because of performance. You're telling me that I'm getting let go because of performance. I've been only at the company for 3 months. In part of the 3 months, I was on holiday because of Christmas and so forth. Brittany is pushing back. She's challenging the individuals who are on this phone, giving her this bad news. And I don't blame her at this point in time, because you want to understand, what is it that you've been terminated for if somebody comes to you saying that it is about performance. If you are at a company for 3 months, you are going to probably go through an onboarding process, right? And then after that onboarding process is done, you want to be able to get some time in order for you to make a substantial impact. So Brittany says, all I had was a month after my onboarding to make a substantial impact. So how are you guys telling me that my performance isn't good when all I had was a month after my onboarding? And she's questioning this. She is absolutely questioning this. Let me go to the chat real quick, because I did lose some volume. And I apologize for that, guys. My brother Ant Johnson says this. Said, I was fired from my first job in September 2022 to February 2023. Now he's fully remote and has a higher paying tech job from August 2023 to present. That is fantastic, man. And Operation Tech says this. Antoine, you quit on Mr. Clark. You quiet quit on Mr. Clark. I did quiet quit on him. TechRX says Google plans to lay off 30,000 of AD employees in the AD department. Oh, wow. That is a lot, man. That is a lot. AI Me says these layoffs are being accounted towards implementation of AI. So learn big data, AI, tech sales, and AI. Guys, Brittany here, she's an account executive. She's in sales. This happens in sales roles. It does happen in sales roles. I'm like, I've seen it happen in sales roles. But what I would tell you is this, is that companies are going through this all the time. So you need to make sure that you have a plan. And we're going to talk about what that plan is. But let's get back to what Brittany is saying and how she's challenging these individuals on the phone.
I won't be able to go into specifics for numbers.
Wait, why though? I just started. I've been working extremely hard. Just because I haven't closed anything that has nothing to do with my performance on a 3-month ramp with just 1 month with 2 major holidays in the middle, I don't think that has anything to do with why I should be let go, if that makes sense. So I really need an answer and an explanation as to why Brittany Peach is getting let go, not why Cloudflare decided to hire too many people and are now actually realizing that they can't afford this many people and they're letting that go. If that's the real answer, I would rather just you tell me that instead of making up some bullshit and telling me that right before I lose my job from someone that I've never met before, if you can respect that.
Yeah, I can totally respect that. And I don't think Dom or myself today is going to give you any clarity or answers that's going to meet the expectations that you're communicating to us, Brittany. So I can't speak to...
So am I getting let go for no reason? If you guys can't give me a reason?
I'm happy to follow up with you separately to give you the data that was calibrated. I'll need to speak with revenue leadership specifically to see if we can get that for you. But Dom and
can
I
you
did
share
not
that
have
with me
that
now?
in our meeting. I cannot share that with you right now, unfortunately. Yeah, it's understandable how you feel and your frustration. Cannot stress that enough.
I have been working extremely hard. I just knew that this meeting was coming after knowing what's been happening with my peers and how extremely frustrated and upset everyone is. I know you guys must not be able to understand that given in the positions that you are in, and it must be very easy for you to just have these little 10-minute, 15-minute meetings, tell someone that they're fired, completely wreck their whole life, and then that's it with no explanation. That's extremely traumatizing for people, if you can imagine that. And I don't think that this is, it's just very, very shocking. Very, very shocking. I have like really given my whole energy and life over the last 4 months to this job. And to be let go for no reason is like a huge slap in the face from a company that I really wanted to believe in.
Can absolutely understand how you feel that way, why you feel that way. And I'll be honest with you, there's nothing that we're going to say in this call in the time that we have that's going to undo the way that you feel right in this moment. I personally will do everything that I can to give you as much specific information as I can after this call. I can't make any promises. I understand where you're coming from. I can tell you that Dom and I do care. I understand the feeling that you have right now. And I can't change that. So I'll just be honest.
But why can't, so, but there, you guys have still not given me a reason why I'm being let go. Despite constant positive praise from my manager, great meeting.
I'm gonna pause it here because you guys are in the comment section of this chat, and I love it. I love it. Professor Black Ops says this company doesn't give a crap about you, right? Brother T. LaFleur says this is why you stack 3 months emergency funds for days like this. God got you. Just bounce back. Professor Black Ops says this: you are a resource, young lady. Period. Point blank, period. Okay? What are y'all thoughts on her professionalism? I want for us to have this conversation. Her composure. I think she's standing pretty composed at this point in time, but this is a very difficult time for her. What about her emotions? These are all questions that we should address in this video. Let me continue on.
That I'm having, the amount of activity that I have has all been positive. I have not received any negative inclination. I have not been put on a performance improvement plan, nothing. So.
And I cannot speak to what your manager has communicated to you directly.
But that should be the indication of
for performance based on your attainment and leading indicators of data. That is the rationale.
But I've been here for only a month after ramping, and that was during a holiday. So I don't understand what those, can you explain what those performance metrics are? Or is that just like a vague term to give to everyone that you're speaking to today?
Brother Damien, he hit it right on the head. She is looking for a real reason for determination. Performance? Nah. That's what she's looking for. They are telling her that it's based on performance, but they can't give her the facts that it's based on performance. And that is
I'll say that the performance indicators and performance metrics are, well, we're not able to go into specifics, and there's no situation where we will be able to go into
Do you guys even know, like, why, like, who you're talking to each day? Like, every single 10, 15 minutes, do you guys even know who you're talking to? Like, why you're letting these people go when you don't even understand, like, the kind of work and everything that they've put in?
I hear you and what you're saying.
It just doesn't make any sense that you guys have still not been able to give me a reason why I'm being let go.
Just from a process perspective, your questions are valid. This isn't going to be the forum and the situation where we're able to go into the detail that you're looking for.
But then when? If it's not right as I'm getting fired, then it's certainly not going to be after when I'm no longer part of the company.
No. So I don't think there's anything we can say in this moment or today, Brittany, that's going to change the way that you feel. And it's understandable. I'm taking notes and feedback, and we'll circle back.
Yeah, I know you did that for Nestle too, but that's
of the meeting. It's not going to change the outcome of the situation today. So it may be best if I do get into more of the specifics of what the next steps are, because I think it's clear that you have questions that we cannot give answers to. And if you'd be open to it, I'd love to move into what the next steps are so that you're not any further blindsided than you already feel.
okay.
Thank you, Dom. Okay, and I'm really sorry that you're having this experience and feeling this way. One of the things that we want to confirm is your personal email address.
So that's the video, guys. That is the video. Maintaining professionalism. Maintaining professionalism. Brother T. LaFleur says this. She's very composed. You're just a number to these companies, and they are playing with people's lives. This is why I want to get into real estate, so I can buy my own or be my own boss, along with cybersecurity. She was composed. I think she held a professional demeanor. She was asking questions. You can definitely tell that she was in sales. She interjected when she needed to because somebody was talking and not really giving her the real facts. She wanted the facts. What are your guys' thoughts? Brother T. LaFleur says she was composed. She was composed. I thought she was composed. Do many of you? I went through the chats and Twitter, and a lot of people says she was interrupting them. That wasn't professional. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear from you guys. But let's talk about managing emotions. Right? Let's talk about managing emotions. We are going to come across many things within our careers, within our personal lives that are going to impact us. They may be things like Brittany is experiencing right now, or what she experienced, that she shared with the entire world. We have to learn how to manage our emotions. I can tell you like this. I had a very difficult Christmas day because my mother-in-law's garage caught on fire. And it was because of charcoal that I put into the garbage. And I had to deal with that. And when you are going through such a traumatic experience on Christmas Day, you have to understand how to manage emotions while also dealing with something as big as that. How do you handle your emotions and continue on with Christmas Day to make sure that you're able to have a good rest of the day? My daughter was irate. She may have PTSD because of this situation. She was crying. She was crying. She was crying. She couldn't stop crying. The house is on fire. Blah, blah, blah. Even after we got it under control and everything went back to normal, she said, Dad, this was the worst Christmas ever. And it was at 10 a.m. at this point in time. This is what I said to her. I said, it's not how you start your day, but it's how you end it. And let's watch and see how this day is going to turn out to be. And long story short, all the family got together. All the family got together. And we had her to say a prayer for us that night when we were getting ready to eat. And she said a prayer that had all of us in tears. And when she went to bed that night, I gave her a hug and I said, baby, how was your Christmas day? And she said, Dad, you were right. It's not how you start your day. It's how you ended it. So for many of you who are going to go through this tough time in your personal career, your professional career, you have to understand how to manage those emotions. Understand that things are going to happen to you. Sit back, digest what is being said or what is being done or what is happening. Try to think through all of the feelings that you're going through at this point in time. Don't react. Try not to react. Listen. Seek support from your family, from your friends, from other professionals. That's why we have communities like the Elevate to the Unknown, the Black Heights Ladder Climbing community. You have to be able to get close to people or talk to people that can support you and offer you advice to manage those emotions. For me, I helped my daughter to manage her emotions that day. I helped my wife, my mother-in-law, my son. For Brittany, it could be her father, could be her mom. After she gets off this phone, could be some friends, could be some other coworkers. But you have to understand how to manage those emotions. And a lot of that time, a lot of it is just by digesting what is being said without a reaction, and then having the support of friends, families, and other professionals that will help you manage that. Okay? How should you respond to the employer? My opinion on Brittany's situation was ask as many questions as possible. Now, I thought she did a wonderful job at doing that. If this wasn't posted online, I thought she reacted in a way that shows that she's just not a pushover. In my opinion, she was professional. She maintained composure. She said, what you're saying to me is that I'm getting laid off or fired because of my performance. Well, tell me my performance. I have a manager, a direct manager that I'm speaking to on a weekly basis. They're saying my activity is good. I have deals that are out to clients, and it didn't close this quarter because of the fact that they slipped. That's what happens in sales, guys. Many of you who are in sales, you understand that things will slip in a quarter. But if you have the activity, you may be able to pick it up the next quarter. How should you respond to an employer? I thought she did a really good job at pushing back. And not only that, towards the end, she gave in. She said, you know what? The lady said, I'm not going to be able to answer your questions right now, Brittany. I totally understand how you feel. I want to give you the next steps. And I want to be able to be there to support you after I give you these next steps. Can you give me your personal email, personal phone number? Take all this information from you. And if Brittany would have kept it right there, I think she probably would have left on good terms. But, right? Brittany decided that she wanted to post this on the internet, and you guys saw over 24 million people have seen this. Not only that, the CEO of Cloudflare came out addressing this on X, on Twitter. What do you guys think that people are going to say about Brittany now? What do you think Cloudflare is going to say? Do you think they're going to hire her again? Is it important to leave on good terms? Is it important to leave on good terms? Or do you want to be that type of person you get laid off, and let's just say it happens in the office, and they give you your nice little box you got to walk out with? Are you going to turn it into a situation where you need to be removed physically? You're going to throw your computer down. You're going to crack your laptop, or you're going to, take your keyboard and start slamming it on the desk. They've ruined your life at this point in time, at least in the state of emotions that you have. So why don't you find a way to ruin theirs, right? We've seen that it's all happened in different movies. That's not what you do. Because it's very important to leave on good terms, because companies, they make decisions sometimes, but they also have an opportunity to reverse those decisions later on. You saw it happen at Salesforce last year, where they fired a lot of their salespeople, sales leaders and so forth. Those sales leaders were rehired back within another month or two. This happens. But not only that, if they do let you go, when you were deemed a high performer, a good employee, you have no idea what others within that organization will land up one day, giving you opportunities, especially if you've made a name for yourself. But if you leave on bad terms and the word gets spread around about this, nobody's going to be willing to take a risk on you. If I knew Brittany, she was a fantastic young lady, I would still hire her again, because I understand what she's going through. But I would give her some wisdom. You don't post this stuff online. I would still hire her. But will others do that? So it's very important to leave on good terms. Now, how do you handle exit interviews and last communications? Well, you want to be honest in your exit interviews, but you don't want to ruffle any feathers. You don't want to ruffle any feathers. Be honest. But if your boss was a complete a-hole, if you didn't tell him that he was an a-hole before you exited, you don't want to do that. If you told him that he was a complete a-hole while you guys are working close together, that's fine. Handle an exit interview with grace. Handle an exit interview knowing that there's a potential chance that you could be back at this company sometime in the future. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that because the world is changing. I got brother Danny, my intern right now, who probably has a different opinion, and he's not going to be on camera today or this week, but he's going to be chiming in into these types of situations because he may have a different perspective. I want to hear what you guys' perspective is on this. And let me go to the chats real quick. Corey Perry says this: if I was her, I would have ended the call and start applying. Trying to get a reason is a waste of time. I hear you on that one, brother Corey. I absolutely hear you on that one. Tech Job Tina, I totally forgot. I didn't catch this one. But Brittany said she ain't got nothing to lose, so she's keeping it real. I think so many people across the country feel her pain. I think this video helped her more than it hurt her. You are so right, Tech Job Tina. You are so right. Operation Tech Takeover says she is standing her ground, and I'm here for it. But Professor Black Ops says this: she's composed, but save all that for the job search. You're a manager. If your department number's off, people are going to get let go. Profit loss. Absolutely. Aunt Johnson says, I smell entitlement. Skill up at every job via a cert or a degree and keep that resume up to date. T. LaFear says, Charleston White would find some way to sue. Oh, I came across many Charleston White videos before. And he says that every single job that he's got hired at, he's finding a way to sue. I got that one. I love it. Ann Johnson said she was passionate. Steven Flair says, love your channel, bro. Operation Tech Takeover says they interrupted her as well. She did a great job standing on her business. She has every right to know the truth, and she went about it in a professional manner. She kept her tone in check. I love it. See? Casual Economist says they will never email her. NC Worker says, good morning, everyone. Darkman Jesse, I got laid off twice. I kept it chill the whole time. You never know who knows who. That's right. That's true. That is true. Operation Tech Takeover says, never give them the satisfaction to let them know they got the best of you. Stay classy and professional. You never know what opportunity will come later. I agree with that. I agree. Brother Damien says, Cloudflare has started a trend. Yes. Hughes Cash says only problem that she had or she did was putting y'all in. And I agree. But you know what? Our company's going to see this, right? Because, things happen for a reason. Our company's going to see this and button up their approach to layoffs and terminations. Wouldn't it have been better, K-Cash, if they would have said, we're just going through a reduction at this point in time, versus them saying that it was about her performance? We're going through a reduction. You're one of the people that we're letting go. Or as Brittany mentioned, we hired too many people at this point in time, and we realized that we made a mistake. Would there have been a better words for letting her go? I think companies are going to come across this. If 24.5 million have watched this, HR departments and CEOs and COOs are basically saying right now, guys, we got to button up. We got to button up how we go about this stuff. We have a generation that's coming up right now that if they're going to work for us, they want proper treatment. They want to be treated with dignity. It's no more of this corporate talk that you heard throughout this entire tweet, or the Twitter, or this video. And the people who were talking, it wasn't authentic. It was corporate babble. Oh, we can't do this. Oh, we can't give you the information because you don't know the information. And it sucks being in that position as well, too, because I have been on both sides of these. It sucks being in that position as well, too, when you have to lay people off. Gone through it myself. Had to lay somebody off while they're on vacation. Terrible. Couldn't sleep that night. Couldn't sleep for almost a week. But let's talk about bouncing back. Did somebody hit it, right? Somebody hit it in the chat. Skilling up. The first thing, though, is touching up your resume and your LinkedIn. Making sure those are updated. And I would even advise this, guys, because this is all happening now. It's the beginning of the year. Companies are looking at how they're going to meet their numbers and how they're going to save. And AI is big, like AI Me just said. And they're looking at reducing employees because AI may be taking over, or they may be able to leverage AI for certain roles. Keep your LinkedIn updated. Keep your resume updated. Use tools like ChatGPT to make sure that you have the latest and greatest. One of the things that I do is I keep a master resume. Keep a master resume. It probably is about 4 or 5 pages long now. But it has everything that I've done throughout my career. In every single quarter, typically for me, ends up being every 6 months, I make sure I take the information here, summarize it, and put it into a standard resume. That's what I do. I put it into a standard resume. So if at any point in time I wanted to look for another role, I already have that resume that I can quickly send for a job of an account executive, enterprise account executive, whatever role it is that I'm looking for next within my path. If I have an interest of putting myself out there to the market, it's already ready to go. While doing that, I also make sure my LinkedIn is updated. Now, many of you guys know that I've gone through a quick transition as well, too. If you're part of the Black Heights Patreon, I've gone through changes in my career as of November. I haven't updated that on my LinkedIn yet because there's a reason for it. But you should certainly update your LinkedIn as well, at least once a quarter. 4 times a year is what I'm encouraging. Just keep it touched up. Then you don't have to worry about struggling when something was to happen. Okay? Hire a coach. Hire a coach. We have some of the best at Black Heights. Book a coaching session, www.blokheights.com. Go to LinkedIn. There are many resources on LinkedIn that will help you with job searching and networking and so forth. Now, what happens after you've been fired or let go? Right? You're applying for all these positions. You got your resume updated. You got your LinkedIn updated. Well, somebody's asking you now, hey, why are you leaving that job? How do you frame that conversation about being laid off? How do you frame that conversation about being fired? That's the question that I have for you guys in the chat. What do you say? Do you say my boss was a butthole, or you say Cloudflare, they hired too many, now they're firing? No, I think you personally want to approach it with honesty. I had a good time working at Cloudflare. I was there for 3 months. I went through onboarding. Then it was the holidays, and I was performing. I had a couple deals in the pipeline, contract out to customers. And then at the beginning of the year, Cloudflare decided that it wanted to go through a reduction of workforce. And I was part of that number. This is what I learned during this time. I learned to always have my resume updated. I learned how to always have my LinkedIn updated. I learned how to ask the right questions. I learned how to negotiate on my severance package. These are all the things that you can explain in your interview, in future interviews. Now, what if you've gone months without finding a role? Well, you have to discuss that employment gap. Let's say you've been off for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. How do you discuss that employment gap? What have you been doing in that employment gap, during that employment gap? Have you been working on personal projects? Have you been working on personal development? Have you been learning a new skill? Be honest as well. Talk about the things that you've been doing. Talk about the places that you've been hiring. Talk about the transition that you've been going through within your career and how it's going to impact or how it's going to help you with your new role that you're looking to apply to, what you've learned. Be honest, but focus on your growth. Focus on what you've learned during that time. And what have you realized also that this is a time for a new career? Many of us have gone through that. Brother Damien has gone through that, right? Brother Josh has gone through that. Maybe it's time for a new career. And we say we want to try something else. If it's a sign for a new career, then you want to explore the idea of changing a career versus staying in a similar one. If you're used to making $100,000 a year and you're a main breadwinner for your family, then you probably want to stay towards that area. Unless you have the finances to be able to allow for you to take a step back, to jump into a lower paying role in order for it to accelerate you. But you really have to explore that idea and then do the pros and cons. Many people want to change careers at this point in time. But you have to figure out a way how you can transition, especially if it's going to financially impact you and your family, how to transition into a role that's going to allow for you to make as much money as you were or make even more. One of the things that I talked about last weekend was self-assessments. Myers-Briggs, Clifton Strengths Finders. Take those self-assessments to determine what your interests and your skills are. There are going to be roles that you may not know that you will be good at because you're just not looking there or you don't have the exposure to it. So do those self-assessments as well. The biggest thing that I want you guys to learn from this is we got to move forward, guys. What do you gain from this loss? When things like this happens to us, it should be an opportunity for us to look forward and be able to tell a story to somebody else, because it's going to happen to somebody else in their lives as well too. But use it as a launching pad to move forward. I've been demoted in my career. I see it as an opportunity for me to talk about the positives of it. Discuss how I'm going to personally take this as a challenge to leapfrog where I was before. How are you going to look at this as a gain, although you lost your job? How? Let me know in the chat. If you are in this situation, many of you have been in this situation. Brother Ant said this. He lost his job last year. He lost it. He got laid off, fired. He put his head down, gained additional skills. Now he has a full remote job. And he's crushing it. He's making more money than he has. So how do you take this and use it as a game? Brittany, account executive, she can go to a completely another company, find a product that she likes to sell, and go out there and absolutely crush it. She can say, you know what? Maybe I was too intense. She said this in her video. I spent 4 months out of my life putting my head down, focusing on this job because I wanted to believe in Cloudflare. Maybe she pushed away people in her personal life Maybe she pushed away that potential husband. You know, Generation Z, they're young. They're trying to get that money. They're independent. Maybe she says, you know what, you're not making $100,000. I can't talk to you at this point in time because I'm making my $100,000. Let's just focus on her career. And then when something like this happens, do you say, am I too serious? Or is this just work? And I need to play the game. But I'm not going to allow for it to stop other parts of my life. We need to learn how to move forward when these things happen, guys. We need to learn how to move forward when these things happen. Many people that I've coached have found ways to move forward to put themselves in better positions because of my coaching, because of my mentorship, because of the channel. Brother Damien's one of them. Brother Josh is one of them. Brother Kire is one of them. Sister Ashley is another one. And I can go down and down the list. These things are going to happen to us. Sister Brandy's another one. These things are going to happen to us. But how do we move forward to learn from these things? Somebody said it in the chat. I think it was Professor Black Ops. These companies don't care. Do they care? That's a question for you to ask. But one thing that you should care about is yourself and making sure that you are doing the right things to be in the position that you ultimately want to be in. And when these things happen, because they will happen, how do you bounce back? And you want to bounce back in a way that's going to put you in a position to win and be able to share your story and write that book to have a happy ending. You guys need a coaching session. You guys are going through any sorts of terrible times like this because it is an emotional impact. It takes its toll. It hurts. It's an ego buster. Book a session with us on Black Heights, www.blokheights.com. We got some of the best coaches that exist. We work across the tech industry. Also, this year, in Q2, we're going to be coming out with a 10 weeks from fired to hired program. You're laid off. This is the program for you. If you want to start another career, transition to another career, potentially tech. Let's say you're in healthcare and you're making $100,000 and you want to transition to tech. 10 weeks from fired to hire will get you there. Be on the lookout for that. Let's jump over to the chats. I want to hear you guys now. Mr. Governor. Mr. Governor says, I would have taken that in stride and realized that I'm not part of the corporate family, but an individual contractor and always look for what's best for me and my family, no loyalty. Mr. Governor says, man, no loyalty. I'm not going to be loyal to y'all when you're not loyal to me. Mr. Governor said, I'm not going to be loyal. Operation Tech Takeover says, last in, first out. Last in, first out. Professor Blackout says, manager being authentic can get a company sued. You hit that one right. You hit that one right. So you understand why the corporate people have to speak to corporate talk. Dark Man Jazz said that HR babble. To his friends said, you got to have the right connections, guys. That's true. You got to have the right connections. That's why on this channel, we also talk about family, friends, connecting with communities. That's why we have the Black Heights community. Join the Patreon. Join the Patreon. Operation Tech Takeover says, I think it's a catch-22. The digital age, everyone records everything. I think a lot of paperwork is going to change, and that will be put in the paperwork. You can't record private convos on posts. I get it. It's true. That's true. Justin Williams says, be honest and be respectful. Ashton James, thank you so much for the $29 super chat. Thanks for the continued knowledge and advice. I appreciate you, man. Miss Wade says, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button on the Black Heights channel. Miss Wade, it's unknown. It's elevate to the unknown, Miss Wade. I love you, baby. Brother Scott said, 38 people watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. Brother Kenny with the $100 super chat. Stay professional and process your emotions. It's business, never personal. The HR team is a messenger, keeps the relationships from the company and keep it moving forward. Brother Ken Barney. I'm going to highlight that super chat real quick. I appreciate you, Brother Ken. And this is a brother who works at Microsoft. And he's had to do this a number of times. A number of times. More times than I can count. And Brother Ken says this, stay professional and process your emotions. It's nothing personal, guys. It's nothing personal. Right? It's business. Never personal. This stuff happens. The HR team is the messenger. Don't get all butthurt at the people in HR. Don't get butthurt at the people in HR. That's what Brother Ken is saying. They aren't the ones that's doing this. Keep the relationships from the company and keep moving forward. Appreciate you for the $100 super chat, Brother Ken. Thanks also for being a fantastic coach for us. These are the coaches that we have working for us at the Black Heights channel. Brother Ken Barney. He's gone through this. He's helped people navigate this terrible time as well. He's helped people to navigate through this terrible time. I've helped people to navigate through this terrible time as well. So if you guys need a coach, book a coaching session on the Black Heights channel. Brother Ant says, facts. Put my head down and I studied like hell, concepts that was new to me along with other skill sets. I'm a hyper competitive person, former college football player. Tech is super competitive. Only the best survives and that drives me. Professor Blackout says 30 years in the game, good and bad will happen. Just keep grinding. Book a session with BH. I appreciate you, brother. Lil Ernest says, most of the time when people go through a layoff, you may have to go back to the school or learn a whole new trade or skill sets, and that's in demand. Need at least a year to bounce back. I wouldn't say a full year at all, Mr. Ernest. I wouldn't say a year. In these days, especially if you have a really good community, unless you're trying to make a transition to another career, another industry, then you may need a full year. But if you are connected, you know the right people, you get the right coaching, it can take you as little as 2 months to bounce back. I've helped people do it, Mr. Ernest. People who are watching this channel. I've helped people do it within a matter of 8 weeks, 10 weeks. That's the reason why we're coming up with a name to get you hired or go from fired to hired in 10 weeks. We've been able to do that with individuals. But it can take some time. It certainly can take some time if you're looking to make a major transition within your career. Carvin says, I've lost good paying retainer clients, but ain't tripping because losing them opened up new opportunities to work with others who were better paying. One door closes, several others open. Boom. I love it. Justin Williams says, what do you think about negotiating for entry-level tech positions because I don't have any experience. That's my issue. You got to book a coaching session for that, Justin. We'll help you with how to negotiate. There's a lot of information online on how to do such a thing. There's a lot of information online on how to negotiate. But the biggest thing is you want to make sure that you understand the market that you're in. And you can find that with all the information online. usesalary.com. Okay? You want to make sure that you have the facts. You can present those facts. And you can talk about your experience and why you are either at the 75%, right? The percentile, because of the skills that you have, the experience that you have, the college that you went to, the knowledge that you have. That's how you approach those conversations. Have the facts. Be able to tell your story. That's all I have for you guys today. I appreciate you guys. I have a double header today. We have another show coming up at 6 p.m. Breaking into cybersecurity to become a cybersecurity engineer. I got a young gentleman, a good friend of mine, Ralph, who was a former Marine, who is now a cybersecurity engineer. And he's going to walk us through his journey. So if you're interested in the career of cybersecurity, join us today at 6 p.m. Central Time. We will be able to give you the tips that he's taken in order for him to break into cybersecurity. And what are some of the things that he would suggest that you watch out for? Just shortcut it, because that's what it's about, guys. It's about shortcutting your way, getting the knowledge that you need in order for you to get to where you want to go. And it doesn't have to be taking all these back roads and so forth, doing it on your own without people's advice and wisdom. You know, I've gone through life just at the path that I've taken, and there are many things that I wish I knew before. I would have been a multi-millionaire by this time. Right? That's why this channel exists. We have the big brothers who tune into this channel, the PBOs, the Brother Damians. They give that information back so that you don't have to go through some of the things that we've gone through in life or our professional careers. It's about giving that wisdom out. It's helping you to elevate to the unknown. That's what we all do on this channel as well. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next show. Until next time, guys. Peace. Yo! I appreciate each and every one of you guys for joining us this beautiful Sunday, January 14th. Guys, as I mentioned, we're going to be making some changes to the channel. We're going to be making some changes to the channel. We're going to make it even better. I got my man Danny in the studio with me today. We're going to pour into making these conversations more conversational, these topics more worth the conversation, and really making an impact. He came up with this script today. This is Danny's script. So if you guys like this, it's all Mr. Danny's work already. He's making an impact already. Professor Black Ops said, great stream, man. I appreciate you, Professor Black Ops. Noah, brother Noah's in the house. He said, great show today. I love the channel name. Mr. Governor says, beautiful show, man. I appreciate you guys. See? That's what happens when you bring in super talented people. And this was just the beginning of it, guys. Just the beginning of it. You know, I had some technology challenges early. You gotta play through those things. It happens. I started the show, my music didn't kick off. Next thing you know, I'm in the middle of the show and I lose my Twitter stream. It happens, guys. It happens, man. Operation Tech Taylor says, great job, Danny. Appreciate you, man. Brother Ken, I appreciate the super chat. Ashton, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you for $20. Thanks for the continued knowledge and advice. Guys, thank you so much for being interactive in this chat today. Brother Damon, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Happy anniversary. Miss Wade, thank you so much for popping the links in there. Looking forward to having a nice brunch with you this morning, sweetheart. Brother Ken, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your knowledge as well. Miss Wade said, I'm still learning the name of the show. Oh, man. I know, right? When you go from years of the Black Heights channel and all of a sudden you change it to Elevate to the Unknown. I be forgetting too, Miss Wade. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. I love you guys, man. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll catch up later.